So I just wanted to do a quick review on this computer. As the channel says, it's not new. I think there's a value in buying things that are a couple years old. You kind of save a lot of money and you can get some really great deals. And this notebook is one of them. I mean, this is the Lenovo Yoga 14. And so as the name indicates, and you probably guess, it's a 14-inch convertible notebook. It's about 3 pounds. I think it's a good balance. I mean, obviously, from the size, using it as a tablet is a little iffy, but I think if you can bear, excuse me, if you can bear, the weight of it a little bit, it's a really great device to have. It's a great all-around device. And the reason why I say that is because starting off, number one, it's the Yoga line, which really, next to the Apple, Air notebook line, I mean, I think the Yoga, as far as Windows computers, is the best line going. And you have this version, and then you have the Yoga Pros, which are, they're 13.3 inches, which I have one that I'll show you. I have a Yoga Pro 3, but this guy, I think, is a better overall computer. Just because it's a combination, with the Yoga line, they're very thin. I'll go ahead and show you. This is like super thin. I don't remember the specs on it. I'll probably include them below in the description. The form factor is very nice and clean. It's black. It's not very heavy. This one weighs about 4 pounds, I want to say. So. Yeah, very light. This one has a 1.7 gigahertz i5 processor. It's a 4th gen. And it also can go hyper-thread up to 2.7 gigahertz. So anyway, it's a good computer. It has a chiclet-style keyboard. One thing I like is how lightweight. It's easy, to pick up and use. The screen folds back. You can set it down like this. The keyboard is backlit, so that's a really cool option. And for me, like the Yoga line, I know when I'm getting the Yoga line what I'm getting, and I know it has all those features. It's very portable, it's very efficient, and it's very clean. And those are the 3 things that I really love about it. And as far as being efficient, what I love, and I'll compare this to another notebook or workstation I have a quad-core HP EliteBook, and it has a quad-core processor, a 2 gig video card, and it's a very powerful computer. Not the latest and greatest, but it's very powerful quad-core. It can handle most tasks with ease. But the problem with that computer is when I'm booting it up and when I'm shutting it down, it takes forever. And even with a clean Windows install, it does the same thing. And outside of becoming a programmer and customizing Windows and tweaking this and tweaking that, which I suppose I could do to get the operating system booting faster and whatnot, these Yoga pads, they come, and I don't know how they do it, but even this one, when I reset it before I installed all the Lenovo drivers, it booted up and closed down and shut down so cleanly, and out the gate, and then excuse me, even when I first got it, it had some, the original software on there. The guy, he still had that installed, but it still ran very efficiently. And this is a good mix between 2 notebooks. And I'll go get those after I say this. But this is a good mix because it not only is lightweight, efficient, can fold over and do the tablet thing, boots up and shuts down pretty easily, or pretty quickly. And this is the power pad, or this is the power AC adapter, excuse me. And it's very compact, not very hefty, and you could actually carry this notebook in a sleeve if you wanted to. You were into that. I have a little satchel I carry to work. I just put it in there. But it's just an overall great computer, and it's fast, it's quick, and it's efficient. The battery life is about 4.5 hours, so that's really great. And you still have some power under the hood. I will show you my Yoga Pad 3 Pro here in a second, and I had the 2 Pro, both excellent notebooks. The 3 Pro is actually under 3 pounds. I think it's like 2.6 pounds, and I'll show you that. But the issue with that, and I haven't really used it, for this, is it has a Intel mobile processor, and I think it's like 1.2 gigahertz, and it can hyper-thread, like to 1.7, whatever. But anyway, that program, or that laptop notebook, Ultrabook, excuse me, if you will, has a, it doesn't have a video card in it. It doesn't have dedicated memory. It makes great use of the integrated Windows graphics it has, but this one has 2 gig dedicated, or 2 gigs of dedicated video memory. And I think that's really good because it gives it that MacBook Pro-esque feel. So basically you can carry it around, toss it in the sleeve, toss it in the bag. It's lightweight, pretty efficient, decent battery life, I'm sure you could probably get it to 5 hours or more. I don't have it optimized. Half the time I unplug it, it's on maximum battery. But anyway, when you get into, like, say you were uploading a YouTube video, or you were going to try to do some editing or some picture stuff, it's probably not going to be the fastest. Picture editing is one thing, but if you're doing anything with video or some light gaming, probably not going to want to mess with that. You might as well use your phone. Without a video card, it's just not going to work out very well. So anyway, love this computer, and we're back. So I'm going to start with Beast. Okay, and that's my nickname for this workstation computer I have. Great computer. Like I said, quad-core processor, 2.8 gigahertz quad-core, 8 gigs of memory, which is not much, but this workstation is actually upgradable to 32 gigs. So this is an excellent deal. I'll do a video on it later. You can tell by this hinge, it means business, but very weighty, blocky, heavy, thick. It's a workstation. You can take it on the go. I mean, the battery is over 3 hours. I think 3.5, 4 hours is, 3.5 hours is probably, the most you can get out of this computer. But, and the AC adapter is not that bad, but it's really thick and chunky, So it's like you get a lot of power, you can do all the video editing, you can upgrade the RAM, it can handle everything. I mean, just as good as anything else, except for some super high-end computers that are out now. Because like I said, it can address 32 gigs of RAM. So this notebook means business. All your standard ports, but it's too big and clunky. This is the Yoga Pad 3 Pro. Now, like I said, this isn't the latest and greatest because I don't buy new. This notebook is 3 years old, or 2 years old, excuse me, came out in 2015. Very, very light, 2.6 pounds, 3.3 inches. It's kind of big, for a tablet. If you're using it for a tablet, they don't make a lot of tablets that big, but I mean, it's just like I said with that Yoga, 14. These computers all have similar characteristics except for the size. The only difference between this one and the 14 is the size and the video graphics. But, this is the other end of the spectrum from that workstation that I mentioned. So this is very light. You only really want to put in the sleeve because anything else would just, defeat the purpose. And the reason you got this notebook is because it's so slim. It flips over. This is quite a large screen, but it's not heavy to hold. So this is like a super large tablet. It's lightweight. This is a quad, a QHD screen. So that's another thing that sets this computer apart from the Yoga 14. The Yoga 14 is great, has a 1080p HD screen, but this one has a quad HD screen. I haven't done any video on it, just to be honest with you. I mean, here's the charger right here. I mean, super compact, and yes, it's been ripped out of the wall, clearly, because these prongs are spread, but that retracts, this comes out. I mean, just a very small footprint, even with the charger. Has a webcam, backlit computer, or backlit keyboard. Those are the marquee things. It's like, I don't know, the Yoga is almost like a European car, like a Mercedes or a BMW 3 Series, where if you get the 3 Series, you can maneuver around, excuse me, the Pro is, almost like an M3, you can zip around, get around. Not that, it's a better machine than a, BMW 5 Series, which is the Yoga 14, but it's just easier to get around and get in and out of spaces. And this computer is really great, but again, it's the other end of things where you don't have the video memory in there. So if you do try to do some video, it's going to slow up. But, overall, this is a really good computer. Like I said, it lays flat like this. It has that watch style bezel thing, so it's awesome. And, I highly recommend these yoga pads. Like I said, they're fast, they're efficient, and, if you do get this kind, and you have to get a solid state hard drive. The 14, you don't have to, but I highly recommend it just because it helps with, shutdown and startup. It makes it a lot faster when you're addressing things in the memory, which is pulling up programs or whatever. It speeds things up because it can be accessed faster. So it doesn't bottleneck. If you have a great processor and you have a terrible hard drive, it kind of bottlenecks and slows things down. But the next review will be on this one. But again, this one is very lightweight, and then the screen is small too. So, 14 inches is a compromise. It's not very big, but it's a good compromise. This screen, you just get used to it. And, for me, this is the one I use the most. I've gotten really acclimated to it, but because I'm out and about a lot. But that 14, if I was at home most of the time or just sitting, had a computer on my desk, it would be the Yoga 14. And so, yeah, that's it.